You are listening to Indian Teens Unfiltered,
a trampoline media podcast
where teenagers across India
speak their mind about things that matter to them
and issues close to their heart.
So it's been over a year since the term lockdown has become a part of our everyday discussion. The new normal is not new anymore. Human beings are adaptable creatures, but this has surely taken a lot of sacrifices from each one of us. How have our teenagers handled it all? How have they been doing and thinking? Time to find out. I'm Neha, the co-creator of Indian Teens Unfiltered.
Hi everyone, I'm Dusha Joy and I'm 17 and I live in Patna, which is a city in Bihar.
Hi everyone, I'm Kesar. I'm from Faridabad and I'm 14 years old now.
I'm Arav Rani. I am 13 years old and I live in Mumbai.
Hi everyone, I'm Anil Kumar. I'm from a small village. It's in Madhya Pradesh and I'm 16 years old.
Welcome to the show. First, I just want to know who are you spending the lockdown with, each of you?
I spent the whole lockdown with my family mostly. So only for a few months I went cycling with my friends.
Okay. What about you, Anil?
With all the villagers. We here it is not lockdown, but we can go to the city. But we can roam around in the village and do skateboarding whenever we want.
I'm spending a lockdown with my parents. My family is just like me and my parents.
So I've spent the lockdown actually mostly by myself, sometimes with my family. Here it is really critical, so I wasn't really allowed to go out during the last year. I met my friends once in the past year and I met them once this year. That's about it.
Yeah, that's very, very tough. What about the others?
One of my friends celebrated a birthday, so that's the one time we met. We met twice last year. See, now I have to count. I have to keep a count.
What are the different emotions that you've gone through in these last few months? Yeah, Kesar.
For me, it's personally being demotivated every day. Because if once you know that each day is going to be the same, you don't really get up that this is my priority for today. I need to get this done. They're like, oh, I can shift it to tomorrow. So that's how it's been for me.
But I would also say that the last lockdown was slightly happier for the people. Everybody just got a break from the hustle. They were cooking and uploading videos and, everybody was making art, cleaning their houses, getting into yoga. A lot of good things were happening. There was still some kind of cheerfulness in the people that, okay, we'll get through this. And the cases were also not so severe.
Yeah, totally agree. I'm a really different person now than I was before the pandemic. So I'm sort of grateful to the first pandemic for changing me, because honestly, I cannot face my past self. It's just really chaotic.
There's one advantage that I know, that we get to spend more time with our family, get to know them more. Because before the lockdown, we had to go for classes outside. Dad used to go to office. Mom used to stay home, and my sister also used to go to classes.
I was not understanding what is going on. Some people believe in this coronavirus, but some not. So they say that it's just politics, and they say that Modi need more money. That's why he has done this thing. And I have friends from cities, big cities. So when I meet them, and they say that it is true that there is coronavirus, and we, the kids who are here, we can take the villagers to get vaccinated. But when we go to the villagers, when we ask them to get vaccinated, then they just clearly say no. We will die like that. We are living, but will not get vaccinated, because people after taking vaccinated, they die. So it has been not good months.
We are clearly living in two Indias.
Yeah, that's always been the case. And I think in these difficult times, it just shows and comes across, stark manner. So Arav, you spoke about family and the fact that how the lockdown, because we're all living with our families, it's become a blessing in disguise. But it's also that it's been over a year and we're living with the same people in one house. Are there any differences? Yes, Kesar.
Honestly, I feel even as a family, each individual person needs their own space sometimes. Like when my dad goes to work, he's used to that routine. My mom, when she's cooking or when she's just scrolling through her phone, that's her time. Each and every individual member needs time by themselves. And this is also because that you're a human being, you need your time alone as well. You can't always have social interaction 24/7. So I feel that like being in a house 24/7 and like through 2 years, almost 2 years now, it's been really hodgepodge. It's been really like crumpled up together. I really crave for my time alone.
We have to bear with it. Can't do anything.
Anil, it's very different for you because you said that there's no such lockdown in the village, right? So, how has life with your family or in the village, has it changed in any way in the last 1 year?
It hasn't changed, but the villagers and my family, like all the people, have been facing problems because people here, it's hard to get work, and if they don't get work, they will not earn any money, and if they not earn any money, then they will not be able to purchase food. They are not able to find solutions because there are so many problems coming.
I think sitting in the cities, we just keep hearing about it in the news and seeing it on social media. But you are the one who's there and who's facing it. And we don't get to realize that. That's very true. I want to also know about what life has been like, about how your daily routine is like. Arav, you want to start with that?
Yeah, so basically, yesterday's routine was I have to wake up at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8, I have to study, then 8 to 9, I have to do my homework, and then 9 to 3:30, I have a class, like not class, school, from then 3:30 to 4, a math class, and 4 to 5:30, another class, and 5:30 to 6, I have to do like school homework, whatever was done in school, and 6:30 to 7:30 another class, 7 to 8 I have dinner, and 8 to 9 I have another class of coding.
I'm really happy that he actually has a routine because I don't have a routine.
But would you like to have a routine like his?
Not really, but mundanity brings more comfort in a way, and I have lost that. I don't have a routine. I wake up at different times. I do different things at different times.
I totally agree. It's so shocking that Arav actually has like a back to back routine. Like I wake up at different times of the day and I don't even know what's going on when I wake up. Honestly, I'm like, okay, do I need to attend my class or totally not feeling like attending any class every single day, every single morning. But I attend my classes and then I eat lunch. I have tuition sometimes, extra classes. And it's all messed up. I still cannot, even after like 1 year of this pandemic, I cannot figure out if I have a routine or not because I just don't.
Okay, so my next question is actually about why we're having the lockdown. The second wave has been extremely nightmarish. Has any of you actually experienced it in your family or with your loved ones? Have you actually been through COVID?
My family got COVID, me, my mother and father, each one of us. It was 1 week ago we recovered. So that was a really bad time. It was scary because we were just seeing that if the condition gets worse, there were not oxygen beds available or even doctors available for the treatment. So luckily that didn't happen, but yeah, it was quite scary because even medicines were, just running out of stocks and being sold in black. We heard all that news, and extended family and all, they were also really worried.
Anil, you were saying before we started recording today, something about it's coming closer. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening?
I don't know we are lucky or what, but in the village there is no cases, and if there is any cases, we don't know actually because the people here are not tested, so we don't know if there is COVID in Janwar also. And our NGO, we ask people to get tested, then they just simply say no. We don't want to get tested. We will die here, but we don't want to go to the hospital. It is a district hospital, the government one, and it is also full, and oxygens were not available there, so it is not good hospital. The government hospital are not good here.
All over the country, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Anand. It's really a sad state of affairs. Okay, my next question for you guys would be about what has been your most difficult pandemic moment?
I have not had one really bad moment. There have been several. Like, during the beginning of the pandemic, I was going to have my board exams. And then suddenly it was like, you will not have your board exams, or it will be postponed, or will it be online? So, all that hubbub, all that confusion was one really bad time. Everybody has that one day after the exams when people just write on the backs of their shirts and they have fun. We didn't have that. We didn't have the last day of our 10th standard. We didn't have the last day of our board exam. We didn't have everything that a normal school child would, but we didn't have that. Even the whole of my standard 11th was through online classes. So, not just one moment. All of these moments have been really stressful for me.
I'm talking about 2019 right now. Before the pandemic, before this like whole thing, I still remember my class assembly being in place. I remember my teacher like on the stage, on the like stadium, and she's holding a mic and she talks about the first 3 cases of COVID-19. And that's how I got to know about COVID-19 in the first place. And now every time my family gets like really shocking news, like when we had coronavirus, this one moment of my teacher saying that and me being in school, like listening to her that, oh, it's nothing, it's probably nothing. It keeps striking me again and again. What have I escalated to? What has this, like the whole country, what has the world globally escalated to? So it's like really shocking for me.
Arav, do you have any one such moment that you recall or you wanted to share?
I think everything is difficult.
Yeah, I think that says it all. We haven't really discussed online school in too much detail. I just want to know each of your experience just with this online school.
I know this couldn't even be like moderated properly in physical classes, but in online classes, it's gone like over the line. Children are unmuting themselves at random times and they're like speaking the answers before the teacher even asks the question. It's really, again, it's really messed up in every single way. But the one thing I like how much the interaction between teachers and like the students has increased, because before I didn't have much access to my teacher's contact, or I only had access to a Gmail ID probably. And now it's escalated to like me having meetings with the principal. It was like pleasant, like, okay, so there is a solution to my problems because someone is ready to listen. And I find it really funny when people accidentally unmute themselves and like they're talking with their family members, like, they're calling their dad to get them water or something like that. I just find that really funny.
We have some really, really old teachers who are not very well acquainted with using these tools, online tools, or managing how to use an online class. So during the beginning, some of the teachers, they were just like, okay, how to do it. And they were, their family members, their sons or their daughters were just coming in the screen and, okay, you do this, you do this. Looking at teachers trying to hysterically, learn something. That was one cute moment for me during online classes.
Who wants to go back to school now? Are you missing school?
Me.
Me. Totally. I mean, why would I not miss school? That's the real question. Because online classes, you can get to see your teachers, you can talk to them via the connections and all. But offline school is always amazing. Like, you can have a random day, you can sit back in class and have a chat. You can't do that through an online setup, right? You can't just gossip with your friends when you're having class and sitting in front of a computer. You can't bunk classes properly. You don't have debates and declamation practices the way you used to in offline classes. All of that. I have sacrificed, my high school. And those are the years where most of the fun happens. That is where most of the growth happens. That is where you become more connected with your friends. But we never had that because 10th was sacrificed, 11th was sacrificed, 12th is going to be sacrificed. I'll never have high school again. So it is going to impact my life, like a major chunk of it.
Has anything changed about you because of the pandemic, because of this lockdown in the last 1 year?
I cannot believe I used to be the person I was in like before the pandemic. It's changed me so much because firstly, I got onto social media during the pandemic. So lots of opinions, like people spread their opinions throughout the app. So I had a lot of liberty to choose what I could stand for and what I couldn't stand, like what I don't want to stand for. Like, no, this is wrong. So you can say in that sense, I got educated like beyond bookish education. I got that during this lockdown. Art is my main priority. I escalated so much during this lockdown in my art. So yes, it's changed almost my entire personality.
What about you, Anil? Anything that you feel has changed about you?
Studying in my home, like there are too much distractions. Nobody goes outside, so everyone is at home. And for me, it was difficult to have class when like there is too much noise. So I had to move to another village alone, and I spent almost 8 to 9 months there. And yes, and then I came back home for some days, and then I again went back. And but now I'm here in my village.
For online school, that too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What about you, Araf?
Well, before I used to go out and play more. So I just started liking more video games.
What do you imagine the post-pandemic world will be like?
I think people would be more kinder to other people, and the things that we didn't value, like we didn't value a stroll in the park, or we didn't value going out randomly to have ice cream. People would start valuing that more, and also people would become more humanly. So maybe people would start valuing human relations more and valuing every day more. I would definitely.
Same here. You've put it so beautifully. I really hope, especially after listening to all of you, that things get better soon. We all deserve it, and especially you all deserve it more than us. We've still lived those special moments of our life, but you guys haven't. So, just for your sake, I wish things get better. We don't want this new normal. I hope we get our old normal back. But yeah, all of you are super strong. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your courage. It's just wonderful to have heard your stories. Thank you for sharing them with us. And thank you for being here with us today. And this is the end of today's episode. But please keep watching this space, because we'll be back soon with another topic that matters to you. Till then, stay safe and take care.
Indian Teens Unfiltered podcast has been created by Ann Doshi and Neha Jain from Trampoline Media. Trampoline brings cinematic, visual, and audio stories from all over the world for the young minds of India today. This episode was hosted by Neha Jain and mixed by Prosenjit.